Friends, on this channel, I have uploaded many videos, but today's video is going to prove to be the father of all those videos. Because in this video, I'm going to tell you the life story of such a great person, after listening to which, you will start seeing the problems in your life as minor. Friends, this is the story of Abraham Lincoln, the greatest president in the history of America. This story begins on February 12, 1809, when this great man was born in a poor family living in a hut, and later this man became the greatest president of America. But for this fellow, this journey to the White House was so difficult that if there was someone else in his place, he would probably have killed himself in depression. When this guy was only 2 years old, his family had to leave their home and shift to another place due to a land dispute. Friends, you can guess that if a poor family has to leave their house, then what happens to them? But the problems were not leaving him here also. After living there for about 5 years, again due to a land dispute, he had to leave that house as well. And at that time, Abraham Lincoln was only 7 years old. After leaving that place, he and his family lived on the banks of a river in Indiana, where Lincoln's father also took up farming. Friends, it was fine till then. But when this man was 9 years old, then his mother died due to an illness, and from here begins the journey of this man's life, where weak people break apart. This guy was very fond of reading books. This guy wanted to study, but because of his father's cruel nature, he could go to school only for a few days. His father wanted him to help in his work. This guy built his own boat and started doing the work of transporting people's goods from one shore to another, and in the rest of the time, working in people's fields to earn money. After working for several days, that guy got a job in a shop, and while working there, that guy studied law on his own without any college. After a few days, he got a job as a postmaster in the village. After working as a postmaster for several days, seeing the problems of the people there, he thought of joining politics, and he contested the election of MLA, but lost badly. Also, due to leaving the postmaster's job, the money was also over. The girl he wanted to marry also died due to an illness. Everything was against that man. This man went into such depression that he started keeping himself away from knives so that he might not kill himself. But that guy, with the help of his friend, once again contested the MLA election and won. Also, because of the law that the fellow had studied, he started fighting the cases of poor people for free and advocated for about 20 years. But friends, the troubles were still not over. Life was slapping one after the other. This man married in 1842. After that, he had 4 sons, but only one of them survived, because at the age of 3, his first son died. At the age of 11, the second son died, and at the age of 18, the fourth son died. Only one son remained alive. This man was losing in every way, but was not giving up. He contested the election of ward member, but lost. After that, started his own business, failed. After that, contested the election of state registrar, lost. Started a new business once again, but failed again. Had a nervous breakdown when he was 36 years old. Contested elections for Congress after 7 years, but lost again. Tried again after 5 years, but lost again. Contested the election once again at the age of 55, but lost again. Again after 1 year, contested the election of vice president, but again lost. Contested elections once again at the age of 59, but again got defeated. Friend, after losing so many times, even the best of the lot gets shattered. But this man was probably also fighting with only one stubbornness, that as long as I am alive, I will keep fighting. And maybe this was the reason that even after losing so many times, this guy was ready to try once again. In 1860, this fellow contested the presidential election and became the 16th president of America. After all, how long would defeat this man, who was not ready to accept defeat? After becoming the president, Abraham Lincoln did many great things, the biggest problem of which he abolished slavery forever. But on April 14, 1865, Abraham Lincoln went to see a play in a theater with his wife, where an actor shot him, and on the 15th of April 1865, he left this world after registering his name in the pages of history. Friends, getting defeated is not a bad thing, but sitting down accepting defeat is a very bad thing. That's why keep on trying, until the Almighty kills you. You have come here to play your role on earth, then do something in such a way that the world sets an example. world